Hello, everyone. This is Rick Walsh, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce the chairman of the board for Freedom Equity Group to open up our special training tonight. We're going to be training on what's known as the 90-day Blitz. It's going to be that time between our pre-launch, which we just had in Las Vegas, and the actual launch in May of this year. And that 90-day concentrated effort can put you on the road to a leveraged income for the rest of your life. And we're going to point out exactly what you need to do all the way along the way. So it gives me great pleasure to start off the meeting by introducing Ron Blumingkemper, chairman of the board for Freedom Equity Group, with more years in insurance and building sales teams than any of us would care to tackle, and unbelievable success in both the insurance, the business world, team building, sales, everything about it. So, Ron, thanks for coming on the call. Let me turn it over to you.
Thanks, Rick, and thanks for everybody being on the call. I appreciate you being on the call. I really appreciate Rick Walsh. I know that you've been on calls with us since early this morning. I know you've weathered through some serious sickness there, and I wish you the best, and we'll keep you in our prayers because I know you're operating under duress. I don't know how you do what you do, 2-3 webinars a day, but I can tell you this. The company, because he is growing like crazy, I have never seen more people with more success, and I told some guys this today. I talked to a couple of guys from another marketing company that called me, were vice presidents with it, and I asked them, I said, how long did it take you to become vice president? They told me 3 years. I said, well, our fast track, you can become a vice president in 3 days or less if you're really serious and focused. And we've hired some guys, and because of technology today, things have been expedited to the point where I just left 2 fellows that had a webinar tonight. They started with us 60 days ago. They're doing everything on the internet. They're doing social media, which is foreign to me, but they had 33 people on their little conference call tonight. They're averaging 2 sales a day. Now, what that means in layman's term, there's 3 of them that work together. If they keep that pace up, they'll be on pace to make $40,000 a piece, all 3 of them, by the end of the month, and they've been doing it all month. So everything's been done with technology. The old days, we'd have to grab somebody and go out and see people in an uncomfortable environment. Today, it's pretty nice because thanks to Rick and his tools, when a guy comes up to you and says, what do I do next, it's pretty simple. All you got to do is register for the license and start your own plan. Outside of that, you can send 3 of these emails out a day and just call them first and say, hey, I've got something important for you to look at. Last 15, 20 minutes, and then the autoresponder will send it to the upline. He'll call. He'll ask them what interests them the most, making money or retiring younger or richer. And you go from there, and it couldn't get any simpler or easier to contact a lot of people with the quality products that we have. Not only quality, they're the best products in America. Proof of that, there's only 2 companies in California that sell the products that we sell, and we're #1 with both of them. What we wanted to do is expand this across the United States. It's taken off. We met a lot of great people. I'd listened very carefully on this 90-day Blitz. You have an opportunity to be on the ground floor. Think about it. We launched this and had 300 excited people in Vegas last week. We've already got people fighting over cities that they want to take. So pay attention, listen, Rick. We appreciate all your effort. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ron. We sure appreciate you coming on. We're going to do, like I said, it's going to be a point-by-point training here. We're going to talk about a 90-day Blitz to an event. That event is your event in your city. I'll tell you, in my 33 years of building sales organization, slow and steady doesn't work. And if you're not growing, well, then you're dying. A fast start in our type of business is an easy start, you see, because the people who join you, they are going to ask you 6 weeks down the road, how's it going for you on that opportunity you told me about last month? And if your answer is something along the lines of, well, you know, I'm getting my office set up in my house, and I'm waiting for my business cards to arrive, and I've been reading, you know, several books on the subject, and I'm getting really ready to go. And I'll tell you what, join me, and I'll show you how to be successful. Do you see how that could be a difficult conversation? But on the other hand, if you say, well, I got my retirement plan started, looks like I'm going to have about $38,000 a year tax-free at retirement. I got my 5 people in place, earned $3,000 in my first 10 days, and they're starting to get people now. It looks like I'm getting leveraged. I should make another $6,000 or $8,000 this month. By the way, would you like me to show you how I did that? Now, can you see how that's a different conversation? So we're going to show you how to get that fast start, which is an easy start. We have a phenomenon known in sales as momentum. And momentum is where there is tremendous, tremendous growth of the people involved in an opportunity. It's not where you earn double or triple your income. It's 8 or 10 or 12 times the income. So let's define momentum. Momentum is the perception of an opportunity not to be missed, and it is this perception that creates an activity, and that activity is massive recruiting. And this activity of massive recruiting creates the reality of momentum. And momentum can be company-wide or organization-wide or in a region or a city. A great example of momentum and how it affects your growth would be the real estate industry. Late 90s, individual in the real estate industry probably made a normal income. Yet 2003, 2004, properties were on the market for just a matter of days, and they were getting bids over the asking price. A normal agent was making an abnormal, above-average income. But it's the same agent, the same town, with the same work ethic, with the same hours worked. How did they make more money? Well, the industry was in momentum, and it fulfilled a Peter Drucker business principle that growth magnifies and intensifies effort. It is the growth of the real estate industry that magnified and intensified the effort of every individual agent to give them a way above average income for average work. And so I'm going to show you how you can put your city or your organization into momentum where you can have a way above average income. So what is exactly a 90-day blitz? Well, it is an all-out local recruiting and training marathon. It's created by a team, a mastermind team, and we're going to go into that in detail, that culminates in a professional off-the-charts event in your city that you put on, that puts a city or region in momentum and produces a long-term atmosphere of profitability for all involved. So put this slide up one more time for anyone who came in late. If you came in late, you should be following along with a 20-page handout. If you don't have that, then send an email to dougcjones@cox.net. Put handout in the subject line, and we'll make sure that you get one. So a fast start is an easy start. Do you realize that people will join your plan and your strategy and your vision before they will join your team? You see, everyone has a business in a box. You need to have a purple cow. You need the result of the business, not the box. Everyone else has that. And structure will give your team direction, comfort, and confidence. There is a plan in place. You can show them. They don't need to think about it. They know exactly what they're going to do day 1, day 2, day 11, day 30, and that's what we want to put in. And this 90-day plan, it will pay millions, guaranteed, but not in 90 days, but because of 90 days. There are several phases in the 90-day blitz. And what this is all about, it's each individual city or organization out there, whether it's Seattle or Sacramento or San Jose or Denver or New Orleans or whatever. This will be a totally separate 90-day blitz in each and every city. And those individuals in these cities will be responsible for doing everything in creating the 90-day blitz, the marathon to an off-the-charts event. So let's take a look at the phases that are involved in the 90-day blitz. First of all, you need to prepare your team for that, and that is what is going on right now. For the people who are in Vegas, I believe the cities that have already raised their hands and said they're going to be doing this would include Dallas and Sacramento, Seattle, Las Vegas, and I'm sure there's others. I just don't have them all right now. But you want to get your team together, and then you want to go through a pre-launch. This is how you're getting everything prepared for the launch of the 90 days. All of this is going to take place in a week to 10 days. Then you're going to launch the 90-day blitz. That might happen somewhere around the mid of February, and it's going to lead all the way up to an event 90 days later in the beginning of May. And then we're going to go for a repeat for a three-peat. So let's take a look at each one of these individual areas. The first one is you need to prepare your team. I'm going to give you a simple summary, and then I'm going to go into what it is, and then I'm going to come back and do the simple summary again. This whole training is like an elephant, and how do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time, but every once in a while, you got to step back, and you got to see what the elephant looks like to know where you are in trying to eat that elephant. And so we're going to give you an overview, then we're going to get into detail, and then we're going to come back and give you an overview again. So you need to prepare materials for your team in your city for the 90-day blitz, and you need to recruit a mastermind team. A mastermind team is 5, 6, 8, 10 people who are going to be by your side working this for 90 days solid. They may not be in your group right now. They may be an insurance agency in your town that you haven't even talked to yet. And then we are going to move tickets to a mastermind group. You see, what's going to happen is the tickets to your event in May will be totally sold out before the month of February is over. How about that? Did you ever think you can plan an event for May and have it sold out in February? We're going to show you exactly how that is going to be accomplished. In the pre-launch, we're going to work to get the inner circles created. That's you and your mastermind team. So it's you. You put together 5 to 10 people on the mastermind team, and each of them might put 4 or 5 or 6 in their respective inner circles, and you're going to move tickets to the inner circle. Now, this whole thing is going to revolve around tickets, as you'll see here in a moment. So I'm just giving you a big overview. So if you're wondering, well, what's meant by these tickets and how did we move them to the mastermind group and the inner circle, we're going to get into that. And then the launch, this is where we're going to match throughout the 90 days. We're going to match people with those tickets. We're going to recruit along the way, and we're going to train along the way. So although the 90-day plan culminates in an event, it's not about the goal. Rather, it's about the journey. You see, if you go all the way through this 90-day blitz, and on day 89, everything falls apart, a tornado took away the venue where you were going to have the meeting, and nobody could fly in to be at the meeting, your guest speakers or whatever, you have already accomplished every single goal that you wanted to accomplish with the 90-day blitz. It's not about the event. It's about the journey to the event. So our phases in the 90-day blitz: prepare the team, go into the pre-launch, go into the launch, go into the event, and repeat for the three-peat. So let's take a look step by step on preparing the team. We're going to talk about the all-important ticket. This is a professional, looks like a Super Bowl ticket. It's 3 by 7. It's glossy. It's full color. It's perforated, so it tears off a stub. I mean, this thing is, when people have this ticket, they know they are going to go to a classy event. And it's going to have a $50 face price. In other words, someone who gets that ticket has a $50 value to come to the event. Hang on one. Okay, now each member of the mastermind group is going to purchase 100 tickets, and they're going to do it for $10 each, not $50. Now, if you're saying, well, my mastermind group, that's $1,000. Well, it depends on who's in your mastermind group. Suppose you want them to purchase 20 tickets. 10 people who purchase 20 tickets because you want 200 people at your event instead of 1,000 people at your event. Whatever is right for your group is right for your group. But the face price remains the same. It's a $50 value. It's a $50 ticket. And during the preparation, you're going to put together that mastermind group. And these are the sharpest people you know in the town. This is where you want to sponsor up. Because remember, you are the messenger. You're not the message. We have the greatest opportunity out there. And if this is good enough for somebody, nobody's bad enough to blow the deal. And if it's not right for somebody, nobody is good enough to close the deal. It's got nothing to do with the messenger. It's got nothing to do with you. It's got to do with the message. We've got a multi-billion-dollar, 100-year-old company behind our crusade to help America retire with dignity. And we're going to have an unbelievable event in 5 or 6 or 8 major cities in May prior to our launch at the end of May. And it's $50 to get there. But each of your mastermind group, whether they're purchasing 10 tickets, 20, 30, 50, 100, you determine. They'll buy them for $10 a piece. And if they want to be a member of the mastermind group, you determine what that is. Let's say it's 50 tickets. That's a $500 investment. That's right. They don't want to be a member of the mastermind group? Well, that's okay. Find somebody else. Okay. You're going to need talent in bringing that mastermind group together. You might want a promoter, a speaker, maybe a graphic artist, someone who has a lot of contacts. Remember, these are the people. If you got if you mortgaged your home and got $500,000 out and you invested it in a business, and you wanted 5 people that you were going to pick that was going to help you make that business a success, would you pick people who didn't have the talent or wouldn't give you the commitment or whatever? No, that's your home. That's your mortgage. That's your legacy. And you're going to pick the right people. That's what you need on your mastermind group. So what you're going to do in the preparation phase is you're going to set the goals for the entire 90-day blitz. You're going to assemble your mastermind team. And you're going to get commitments from those people on your mastermind team. And let me talk a little bit about the mastermind benefits. So let's take a look at setting the goals for the 90-day blitz. First of all, you want to set a rank goal. What will your rank be the first week in May? And write it down, put it in stone. You want an income goal, personal and team. How much will your team be generating in revenue to themselves, and how much will you be making? And then you want your team and personal growth and actual numbers. How many people are you personally going to sponsor during the 90-day blitz? Make it public. Hold yourself accountable. And how many people will be on your team? Remember, people will join your campaign before they join your company. This is all a part of your story. Listen, I'm only going to bring in 20 key people or 10 key people to be on my mastermind team or 5 key people. Do you want to be one of them? This is going to be huge, and I'm going with or without you. The train is leaving the station. You're either going to be on the train with me or you're going to be on the tracks waving goodbye, and that's just the way it is. Be militant about your goals. You need to know how the 90-day blitz will roll out. What tools will be used? You tell people what they're going to use. Is it sizzle calls? Is it webinars? Is it the meetings? How many tickets will be moved and how they will be moved? Remember, the initial movement of tickets, once you get them printed, and that's in your first week, is going to be to the mastermind team. And let's say it's 10 people at 20 tickets. That's 10 people putting in $200. That's $2,000. Or maybe it's 10 people buying 100 tickets, which is $10,000. Well, guess what? As soon as you have moved those blocks of tickets to the mastermind group, you now know how many people are going to be at your event. And the event is already paid for. You've already collected the money, and you know how many people are going to be there. Because do you think the mastermind group is going to be stuck holding those tickets? Absolutely not. You want to write a launch plan and use that as a recruiting tool. You want to, at the end of this 90-day blitz, make your team the talk of the company at the next convention on 31 May in Caesar's Palace. You see, nobody thought you could put 200 people in the room at your event, so go ahead. Put 1,000 in the room. What you want, I saw people, they were all pulling Bloom aside and Bill aside and Petro aside and saying, oh, will you take a picture with me? Will you take a picture with me? What you want to happen in May in Las Vegas is they're coming up to you. Wow, what an event you put on. Will you take a picture with me? You want the CEO to be taking pictures with you. Okay, so now, item 2, you're going to assemble that mastermind group. Remember, this again is a recruiting tool as well as a leadership recognition tool. You only want the best and the brightest on your team and that mastermind team. And some people may be excluded. You know, it's the way it is. Don't let your existing group contaminate your mastermind group. If there's some negative people in your existing group, they probably should not be invited onto the mastermind group that's putting this 90-day blitz together. This is all going to be positive energy going forward. And then you want to sell the plan to your key contacts that may or may not be on your team. Sell the plan. The plan will sell the opportunity. And you got to start a little bit of a whisper campaign, maybe tonight. Something big is coming here in Denver. I can't talk about it now, but let's get together for coffee tomorrow, and I could lay out all the details. Build up a little bit of suspense of what's going on. And then you want to get the commitments of your mastermind group. X number of tickets. Might be 100, might be 50, might be 20. You determine, because you're going to determine right now at the very beginning how many people are going to be at your event and how much money you will have to put the event on, whether it's $2,000, $5,000, or $10,000 in this first week. That is going to be determined. You don't want any whining from anybody on that mastermind group, and you want their full participation, because these are your generals, and their benefits are they're first. They're in early. They may not be with Freedom Equity Group yet. This is a recruiting tool. You are giving individuals the opportunity to be at the very genesis of the explosive growth in your town, Pittsburgh. And that's what you want to do. The prestige of being part of the mastermind group is what you're selling. And you're also letting them know of your personal commitment to be on their show, on their wing for the entire blitz. They have your undivided attention. So what you want to do is you want to set the calendar, pre-launch date. Well, that was the convention in Dallas, in Las Vegas, and the launch date about a week later, February 8th. Now, if you're just hearing about this the first time and you didn't hear about it in Vegas, then push each one of these dates out about 1 week. That's about it. That's all you need is a week in pre-launch, and the event is going to happen somewhere between 1 and 15 May, because people at this event, I guarantee you, they will start booking their way to Vegas to be there with you on May 31st. And we're going to build from event to event. So the phases in the 90-day blitz: prepare the team. Then we go into the pre-launch. So let's take a look at the pre-launch. In the pre-launch, you want to name the campaign and give it a motto. For example, a roads to riches, the nonstop to the top, a springboard to success, fire your boss campaign, dash to destiny, make momentum happen, the millionaire blueprint. And a motto might be 90 days of pain for a lifetime of gain. Well, here you are. It's in the pre-launch, 1 to 8 February. You're getting your tickets printed and a flyer printed, because as you hand out these tickets, and I notice my ticket down there says $149. That is incorrect. It should say $49 or $50. Admit one. At the end of this, or on your handout, you actually got the guy who designed these brochures and these tickets, and he's a printer. So you could call him up and you just change your name on it. He's ready to go. I mean, within a couple of days, you could have your flyers and your tickets already done and ready to go. So you don't have to worry about creating that event flyer for color, but you might want pictures of some of the speakers you are going to have. Are you going to have Bloom at your event? What's the location? You'll want to know that, etc. So in the pre-launch, you create the event tickets and the flyers. And that pre-launch goes all the way up to, let's say, 12 February. Again, if you're seeing this for the very first time, if you're seeing this for the very first time, then add a couple of days to that. Event celebrities. You might want to give out an entrepreneur award, maybe a local TV anchor or something like that. Just something that's a brand name that you could bring to your event, or if you know somebody who's an author in your local town or whatever. If you have event speakers, you might have them do a video message that you'll play at your meetings leading up to your event. Then you're going to define your awards, because you're going to have recognition and awards in competition. You want to have an online leaderboard on how many personal recruits will happen in the 90 days. Most tickets sold. You want to have the trophies ahead of time so they're at your meeting every week, so people could know exactly what they're working to and where's the venue. Okay, I'm back. That mastermind group, you want to have a competition, and you want to make it public. Have the mastermind group compete with you with the mastermind group, and with each other. This is all being set up in your pre-launch in the first couple weeks of February. So now it's the middle of February, maybe the third week in February at the absolute latest, but try to get it before the middle of February. You are launching the 90 days, and you're ready to go. And at that launch, what's going to happen is all-out massive action. Get ready, folks, because you aren't going to see much of your family. This is 90 days to prepare you for the rest of your life. You will never, ever have an opportunity again like this, to be in it at the very genesis of the largest crusade to help America retire with dignity on a compensation structure that pays out 10 times in commissions what we take in policy premium on that first month, to deal with a company with the management like we've got that has 15 years of experience. It just isn't going to happen again. So if this is not your last rodeo, let me make an invitation to you. Let it be your last rodeo. You want all-out massive action for 90 days. You're not going to be watching any TV. You're going to do one-on-ones and home meetings, luncheons, and that's best on noon on Friday. You're going to have a weekly event. You're going to have a weekly training. You're going to have conference calls. You're going to have webinars. You're going to have custom-branded webinars. I highly recommend these. If you don't know what they're about, send me an email, put custom-branded webinar in there. That's where a new person just brings their people onto their webinar. They're branded, their picture. I give the webinar. They get all of the contacts. It's recorded. They put it up on Facebook. They are branded. Three-way people into sizzle calls. At the launch in the middle of February, you need to be ready to say, here is our plan. Here are our contests. Here is the recognition that we have to have. Here are our various incentives. Here are our ticket sale strategy. And here are your tickets and tools. Because you see, that mastermind group, and I'll use the 100 ticket for 10 people in the mastermind. Again, whatever you think is right for you. But if you had 10 people who gave $1,000 each to have 100 tickets, you're probably wondering, oh my gosh, why would somebody put up $1,000 for an event they don't know much about? Well, you see, after the mastermind group is assembled, each person in the mastermind group is going to put together 5 or so people in their inner circle. And to be a member of the inner circle of someone in the mastermind group means you're going to take or purchase 20 tickets or $200. Well, guess what? 5 people purchasing 20 tickets, that person in the mastermind group, he doesn't have any money in the game anymore. He's got all the tickets moved down to the next step, the inner circle, and he got his $1,000 back, and we're only at mid-February. Those people in the inner circle are going to be moving those tickets to the end users all during the 90 days. You sign somebody up at a meeting next Friday. You ask them what their goals are. If they're good, solid goals, then you say, in order for you to achieve these goals, you need to have a minimum of 3 people at our event in May. And besides what it costs to get involved with your license or anything else, I'm going to give you $150 worth of tickets, 3 of them. And I'm only going to charge you $30. So now the inner circle is getting those tickets into the hands of the individuals that are going to use them and get their neighbor or their associate or whatever to that event. So I think you should be getting the idea. You want to show your schedule from the launch to the event, such as February 16th. You have a power training in your city. Then on the 23rd, a Super Saturday. March 9th, a power training. March 16th, a Super Saturday. March 30th, a power training. April 6th, Super Saturday. April 13th, power training. April 20th, Super Saturday. And in between all of these events, you've got your luncheons, your 3-on-1s, your 2-on-1s, your coffee classes, your conference calls, your webinars, everything. The importance of the event is not the event. Again, we recruit toward the event because of the event, not at the event. You see, when people say, hey, I'll come to the event and then I'll decide if this opportunity is for you, is for me. No. You not only need to be there, you need to use this event as a tool to get your business started. This won't happen again. So you're not coming to my event to make up your mind. Make up your mind now, one way or the other. Because if you make up your mind positively, I'm going to have your business launched at that event with the people you bring. Here's your 3 tickets, $150 worth, and only cost you $30. I will tell you that in a normal direct sales environment, you will make $1,000 per year for every representative in your group that works for and is at this event. I've been doing this for 30 years. It does work. So if you have 200 people at your event that work for it, you are going to make $200,000 a year from that point forward. Now that's in a normal direct sales environment. That's where $100 is sold and $50 in commissions. That's not where $300 is sold and $3,000 in commissions. I mean, I just can't even put a calculator to what every person would mean for you that you have that works towards this event. And every recruit gets tickets. You make the extra sale right here and right now. Someone signs up at a meeting in the middle of March. Great. What do you want to accomplish? What time frame do you want to accomplish it? Great. Here are your flyers. Here are your tickets. You'll need 10 tickets. I'll give you $1,000 worth of tickets, but I'll only charge you $10 a piece. People want a plan to make money. They want a roadmap to make money. They don't want an opportunity in a box. Everybody has an opportunity in a box. They're going to buy what you've got in your plan before they're going to buy anything the Freedom Equity Group has. Now, the event. I don't need to go much into the event because those who are going to do it, we will be doing weekly conference calls, bringing everyone up to date, what's happening in different cities, and we'll teach you a lot more of exactly how to run the event then. But I'm going to go through this real quick just to let you know that we already have everything down, exactly what you need to do at the event. You're going to have celebrities, guest speakers, testimonials, out-of-town leaders. You're going to promote the next event. You're going to have tickets for the next event. And it's going to be a Broadway show. You're going to have scripts and music. You're going to have actors and the main cast and tickets and advertising and a budget, security. You're going to have as many speakers as possible, all the small parts. You'll have music at the beginning, at least 45 minutes prior, with the volume will be slowly going up. So people have to compete with it a little bit. This is going to be choreographed. This is going to be staged. You may have a slideshow or a video before the host comes on. And the first half of the event is an opportunity meeting. The host will come on 2 minutes, and then he will start the event. The rep will give the FEG background. The host will come back up. Hey, didn't he do a great job? Company person, 5 minutes. Host sets the stage for Help America Retire with Dignity. Rep talks about indexed universal life advantages. Host sets a product offering. It's got to be a great opportunity. Continuing the flow of the event. Benefits of what the comp plan will do for you. The host, many lives have been changed with this opportunity. It'll lead them into testimonials. You'll have 10 different testimonials, 30 to 45 seconds each. Name, background, challenge, how FEG helped to overcome those challenges in a close. You're going to have to rehearse these with the participants over and over. No ad-libbing. The host asks the audience to get out a piece of paper. Hey, if you got in part-time, how much would you need to make? About how many hours are you willing to commit to earn that type of income? How many months would you give it? Write down that number. This is the host getting prepared to close for you. So if we could show you how to get what you have with the hours and the months that you have put down there, would you be ready to get started? Give me a show of hands. Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you're ready to get going today, write that number down right now. Okay? Now, share it with the person who brought you. The host concludes part 1. He tells you to circle your chairs with the person who brought you. And during the break, this is the end of the meeting. You'll physically circle the chairs around. Ask your guest the first question, which is, what did you like best about what you saw? Start with the most positive one. Ask what number each person is. If someone's a 10, have them fill out the app. Go on to the next one. If someone is not close to a 10, well, schedule a meeting with them some other time and thank them for coming. And let them leave. Second half of the meeting, there might be a celebrity, top earner or CEO, product expert, awards, maybe a second celebrity. Host closes the meeting, announce the next meeting. The whole thing is 2 to 3 hours target frame. So let's go back and summarize. In the beginning, we're going to prepare our materials. We're going to recruit our mastermind group, and we're going to move tickets to the mastermind group. Once this is done, you now know how many people are coming to your event and you already have the funds to put it on, and you're 2.5 months away from the event. Pre-launch, you work to get the inner circles created, you and the Mastermind group, and that's when they are going to move the tickets to the inner circle. Big bites become small bites, and everybody has their money back as we move into each phase. And then during the 90 days, we are matching people with tickets, we're recruiting along the way, and we're training along the way. Do you need a graphic designer to create your tickets and handout? Well, how about a PowerPoint expert? Copy down this fellow, David Arnold. He's on the last page of your handout, darnold953@gmail.com. He's the one who created this PowerPoint. He's the one who created those flyers you see. He's the one who created the tickets, and he's also a printer. So you could call him up and say, hey, put this name, this address, this phone number, and a picture of this hotel. You're done. That's all your preparation. Get me 500 tickets and 500 flyers. Here's David's phone number if you'd like to contact him. His phone number is in that also. The national coordination of the 90 days will be through myself. If you want to head up your group or your city, go ahead and put an email to walshrick@aol.com and put 90-day Blitz in the subject line. Now, let me give you a word of caution. Don't call me up and say, I want to do the 90-day Blitz. What do I do next? What you do next is exactly what we said in here. This is being recorded, and I will have a link to this recording hopefully tomorrow or the next day so you can watch it over and over and over again, or you can have your Mastermind group watch it, Inner Circle, or whatever it might be. But I don't have any more information than what I'm giving you right here and right now. So please don't call me up and say, what do I do next? This is not going to be hand-holding. We are looking for the top leaders who say, I'm going to take charge of my area and my group, and we are going to make momentum happen for us. And you'll receive a questionnaire if you send me an email. Please return it to me within 24 hours, and we will do weekly conference calls to share what's working. So why would you do a 90-day Blitz? Sure as hell looks like a lot of work to me, because it will put your city or your group into momentum. The numbers are not as important as the activity that's going to happen. Priority of leaders, personal branded webinars, fly-ins from corporate, etc. It's going to be a priority. Those that are doing the 90-day Blitz will be higher on the list for the company to be able to help out in these ways during the next 90 days. Team up with others in your city in a combined effort for doing these. The bottom line is all roads will lead to your event. So that covers what I needed to cover tonight. Ron Blumenkemper, are you still on the line with us? Then, folks, I'm going to have this thing posted and probably on YouTube. We should get a link to you in the next couple of days. I want to thank you for being on the call. If you're interested in participating, go ahead and send an email to walshrick@aol.com. Put 90-day Blitz in the subject line. We'll let you know if there's a city near you that's doing it, or sort of point you in the right direction to do it yourself. But the right direction, again, is going to be everything that's on this PowerPoint and this webinar. So, folks, thanks very much for joining us. I sure appreciate your time here on a Thursday evening, and it's late on the East Coast. Have a good evening. Bye-bye now.